Before alarm clocks, someone knocked on your window with a stick. Before refrigerators, a stranger left milk on your doorstep at dawn. And before elevators worked automatically, you needed a person to press the button for you. These weren't quirky side hustles. These were real careers that millions of people depended on. Some were dangerous, some were bizarre, and a few are still around today. This is the story of the jobs that built the 20th century and then vanished almost overnight. The everyday heroes. Let's start with the people who kept households running. Jobs so common back then, they seemed as permanent as the sun rising. The milkman. Every morning before dawn, the milkman made his rounds, clinking glass bottles on doorsteps across entire neighborhoods. No refrigerators meant milk spoiled fast, so daily deliveries were essential. But once fridges became affordable in the 1950s and supermarkets took over, the milkman nearly disappeared. Nearly. In the UK, some still deliver today, bringing back reusable glass bottles as an eco-friendly alternative to plastic. Newspaper delivery boys. Picture being 12 years old, pedaling through rain and snow at 5 a.m., flinging newspapers onto porches. Paper boys were everywhere, but as printed newspapers collapsed and digital news exploded, the iconic bicycle route became a relic. Soda jerks. Step into a 1940s diner and you'd see a soda jerk, a teenager behind the counter whipping up milkshakes, root beer floats, and ice cream sodas with theatrical flair. They weren't just making drinks, they were part of American culture. But when fast food chains automated everything and soda fountains disappeared, so did the soda jerk. Ice delivery man. Imagine hauling 50-pound blocks of ice into kitchens every few days. That was the life of the ice delivery man, keeping iceboxes cold before electric refrigerators existed. By the 1940s, his job melted away. Knife sharpeners. Walk down any street in the 1920s and you'd hear the screech of grinding wheels. Knife sharpeners calling out their services. But once cheap disposable knives flooded the market, people stopped repairing. Elevator operators. Now picture stepping into an elevator and being greeted by a uniformed operator who smoothly controlled the speed, chatted with passengers, and stopped exactly at your floor. They were part concierge, part tour guide, part city expert. When automatic elevators arrived in the 1950s, most lost their jobs overnight. But a few luxury hotels, like the Drake in Chicago, still keep them, preserving the elegance of a slower era. The city operators. Cities had their own invisible workforce, people who kept the lights on, the calls connected, and the entertainment running. Switchboard operators. Pick up a phone in 1920, and you didn't just dial a number. You asked an operator, usually a woman, to manually plug in cables and connect your call. Every single call. Thousands of women worked switchboards in every city. But by the 1960s, automatic dialing replaced them almost overnight. An entire profession, gone in a decade. Film projectionists. In the booth above every movie theater sat the projectionist, handling fragile film reels, switching them at exact moments so audiences never noticed. One mistake? The film could burn, snap, or ruin the entire screening. But when digital projectors arrived in the 2000s, most projectionists were quietly replaced by a single button press. Lamplighters. Every evening, lamplighters walked city streets with ladders and poles, lighting gas lamps one by one as darkness fell. When electric streetlights replaced gas in the early 1900s, the job vanished. But in Prague, the tradition survives. Once a year, lamplighters in period dress light the Charles Bridge, keeping history alive. Hand-painted billboard artists. Look up at a 1930s city wall, and you might see an artist perched high on scaffolding, brush in hand, painting a massive Coca-Cola ad or movie poster. It was painstaking work, sometimes taking weeks. But when vinyl posters and printing technology arrived, hand-painted signs disappeared, except they're making a comeback. Cities like New York and London now hire billboard artists for authentic, vintage-style ads. Telegraph operators. Before phones, telegraph operators tapped out messages in Morse code, sending information across continents faster than anything else. But once telephones spread, the telegraph became obsolete almost overnight. The dirty and dangerous jobs. Not every job was glamorous. Some were backbreaking. Some were deadly. Chimney sweeps. Imagine crawling through pitch-black chimneys, covered head to toe in soot, scraping out toxic buildup to prevent fires. Chimney sweeps, many of them children, did exactly that. It was dangerous, suffocating work. As coal heating gave way to gas and electric, the job disappeared. Knocker-uppers. Here's one you won't believe. Knocker-uppers. Before alarm clocks were affordable, factory workers hired someone to wake them up by tapping on their bedroom window at 4 a.m. with a long stick. Yes, this was a real job. Once cheap alarm clocks hit the market, knocker-uppers were no longer needed. But it raises the question, who woke up the knocker-upper? Log drivers. Picture daring men running across floating logs in raging rivers, guiding timber downstream to mills. It was thrilling. It was dangerous. One slip meant drowning. But once railroads and trucks took over timber transport, log drivers became a memory. Water carriers. In places without plumbing, families depended on water carriers, people who hauled heavy buckets from wells or rivers to every home. Once indoor plumbing spread, the backbreaking job dried up. Blacksmiths. The sound of hammer on anvil once rang out in every town. Blacksmiths forged tools, weapons, and horseshoes, essentials of daily life. But mass production replaced them. Today, blacksmithing survives as a craft, creating custom blades, jewelry, and art. The fire still burns, just for different reasons. Matchstick makers. Children as young as 8 once made matches in grim factories, handling dangerous chemicals like white phosphorus. Many developed phossy jaw, a horrific condition where their jawbones literally rotted away. Safer safety matches and automation eventually ended this nightmare trade. And then, there were the jobs so bizarre it's hard to believe people actually did them. The strange and unbelievable. Rat catchers. Cities once hired rat catchers to hunt vermin in sewers and alleys, reducing disease outbreaks. Armed with traps, sticks, and sometimes even trained dogs, it was grimy, dangerous work. Modern pest control made them obsolete. Leech collectors. Yes, this was real. Leech collectors. Doctors once believed leeches cured illness, so collectors waded into swamps, letting leeches latch onto their legs, then scraping them into jars to sell. As medicine advanced, leech collecting was no longer needed. Daguerreotype photographers. Early photographers used daguerreotypes, polished metal plates that captured hauntingly detailed portraits. But the process was slow and expensive. Once faster film photography arrived, daguerreotypes vanished. Carriage drivers. Before cars, horse-drawn carriages were the only way to travel. Carriage drivers transported everyone, everywhere. But once affordable automobiles arrived, horses were replaced. Today, carriage rides are just tourist attractions. The survivors. Here's the twist. Not all of these jobs vanished. Some adapted, some returned, and some never left. The Milkman is still delivering in the UK, riding the wave of eco-conscious consumers who prefer glass over plastic. Lamplighters return to Prague once a year to light the Charles Bridge, preserving tradition. Blacksmiths forge custom blades and art, keeping the ancient craft alive. And hand-painted billboard artists are making a comeback in cities hungry for authenticity. These survivors prove that even in a tech-driven world, there's still room for human craft. So next time you set an alarm, flip on a light, or stream a movie, remember, just a century ago, these simple tasks were someone's full-time job. The world moved on, technology replaced them, but their stories remain, reminders of how quickly the work we depend on today could vanish tomorrow. Which of these jobs fascinated you most? Which one surprised you? Let us know in the comments. So these jobs disappeared, but the people behind them? Their stories are even more incredible. We are revealing inventions that saved millions of lives, then completely disappeared. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it.